Ministry appreciates your help. The Ministry thanks you for your commitment to combating the calamity. Anyone else getting Hunger Games? This is a message from the Capitol vibes from that. How do we know where things are returned back to? Is it just a guess? It's not like we can go to the past, like where these memories are. It's not like you can go back when Harry was a child or when they're like in the Defense Against the Dark Arts classrooms. Like what, how do we know that it's back? Or wait, can they return back to those times, memories? What's the deal with foes in combat? Like, you're kind of real, but not, but you can do damage to me? You can actually hit me? You're not a memory of a werewolf. You're an actual werewolf, a material werewolf, somehow, that's just like throwing damage at me. What is that about? So, you seem to be guarding fragments of Foundables, which, to be honest, is a little weird. Like, why are you doing that with your time? You could be doing anything. Anything at all, but you choose to be guarding fragments of Foundables. And do you just live there? Is that where you live? What happens when I defeat you? Like, do you disappear? Do you go away somewhere? I don't know where you go. Are you alive? Like, do you need to eat and drink and take care of yourself, sleep, all of that? Or am I just projecting you? Are you even real? Do I project you from my own mind? Am I just imagining everything in Fortresses? What is up with brilliant Foundables? Like, why are you purple? What's the deal with that? Why does the calamity care about you so much? What are you tracing? I mean, honestly, why? Why do you just keep coming up in front of my face and you're purple? Don't get it. I have a theory that Constance is involved in this somehow. On another note, how do you think the developers decide which Foundables to create? Do you think they just pull them out of a hat? Do you think they just have like a row of all different kinds of Foundables, confoundables in their office and they just have beans like the office and they put them down to prioritize which ones to make? Does J.K. Rowling play this game? Like, why haven't I seen her play? Do other actors play this game? Do you think they've opened it? Do you think that's kind of like, oh, no thanks, I don't want to go back to... Rupert Grint is like, Ron Weasley during that time, not that great. They have to go back to the Fantastic Beasts timeline. I mean, we're starting to see that a little bit, but how does that connect to the Harry Potter timeline? And even still, how does that connect to present day timeline? The New York Ghost. This is for the American Wizard, their version of Daily Prophet. Magical disturbances, risk wizarding exposure. Sound familiar? Monday, December 6th, 1926. We're back in the 20s. Right here we have the MACUSA Index of Magical Exposure. Threat number 50.26. Kind of reminds me of those trailers when they'd be like, oh, this is threat number, or what did it say threat? It was like trace number or something and they would have numbers next to it. Data provided by the surveillance department. MACUSA has a surveillance department? I mean, obviously, but wait a minute. Actually, it's not surprising to me that the American wizards are being surveilled. This is page 41. We have close on a newspaper, the New York Ghost with the headline, Magical disturbances risk wizarding exposure. It's in the Fantastic Beasts movie. I have to rewatch it. Should I be studying the Fantastic Beasts timeline? Is this why we have orders from the Ministry of Magic and we have the MACUSA threat level clock? It's like the Ministry was like, we'll take the lead, we got this. And MACUSA was like, we've been through this before, we have a threat level clock. Question, who is Sophie Duchamps? Is it Duchamps? Is that how I'm saying it? I don't know. Calvert Tillery, Maisie Shepherd, Zelda Hum, Bernadette Beauchesne, Sunita Mystery, Basil Silva, Phoebe Clem, Hayden Howell, Asselin Farr, Lewis Hubbard, Bennett Burgess, Chandra Amble, Elsie Barrett, Zeph Salvage. Who are you? Are you current students of Hogwarts? Are you people from the past? Maybe this last group of people could be customers of Weasley's Wizards Wheezes because it's on those pages in the Foundable registry. I don't know. Who are you? Who is this wizard confoundable? What about, have you seen this wizard? Who are they? Why is the Mathilda Grimblehawk we talked to different than the one in Fantastic Beasts Cases from the Wizarding World game. Like, all these other people are from that game and they look the same. You have Sage, you have Myra, you have Gethsemane, for goodness sake, and they have exactly the same poses as from their game and the other game. Like, who are you, Mathilda? Are you who you say you are? Look at her. This one is from Cases. This one is from Wizards Unite. Not the same person. I mean, I could be wrong, but like, they don't look alike. Why aren't they using the same little graphic image? All you have to do is copy paste. Also, remember the game trailer where we're kind of like in the Daily Prophet headlines and stuff and then kind of goes into color and it looks like Mathilda's jacket might be on the ground at the crime scene investigation area? Like, is this fake Mathilda part of the storyline? Maybe she's part of the Calamity, who knows? I'm just out here accusing everyone of everything. Constance, what is your deal? Y'all didn't think I was gonna get through a questions video without talking about Constance? Okay, if you thought I'm being unfair to Constance, just wait. Let me explain where part of my perspective has been shaped. Pull it up, June 2019, when this game launched. So some of y'all found out from my last video where I was teaching my sister how to play Wizards Unite that there are voice actors for some of the dialogue in what seems like mostly the tutorial sections of the game. I don't know if they're gonna bring the voice actors back for any other sections, if they recorded other things, but I did know that there were voice actors and I did find who they were. Hit me up if you wanna know more. Or just kidding, just go to IMDb and search Harry Potter Wizards Unite. Anyway, Constance Pickering is voiced by Justine Huxley, and on June 22nd, 2019, a couple of days after the game was rolling out the global launch, she tweeted, "Even though I'm a muggle in real life, I feel so lucky I get to voice such a friendly, helpful witch as Constance Pickering in HP Wizards Unite." Okay, so this tweet is sweet. It has hashtags, Wizards Unite, Constance Pickering, Stop the Calamity. However, the reason why I saw this tweet at all was because John Hanke, yes, Mr. Jonathan Hanke, CEO of Niantic, quote tweeted her tweet and said, so I'm gonna read it in the tone that I read it in. "What's the real story behind Constance Pickering and the actress who purports to voice her? A friendly, helpful witch? That is the day that I had it out for Constance." Of course, you could read John Hanke's tweet as just, you know, playful, playing along with this idea of, oh, we have this muggle world that we're trying to protect and we have this cover up with this voice actress and whatever. And maybe we're just breaking the fourth wall of this game to be fun. However, my millennial discourse analysis reading kicked into gear because he literally took her words, a friendly, helpful witch, put them in his tweet, and put a question mark at the end of it. A question mark. So as he's playing off this idea that Constance Pickering is not who she says she is, like, because we have this voice actress and we're all like, oh, haha, it's a game, but also we're like trying to be wizards and witches in real life, all that sort of thing. But he also plays into it because he's like, is she a friendly, helpful witch? Who is she? Who is she? Okay. Time to exit the conspiracy theory train. What other questions do I have? Where is everyone? Like, where is Draco? Where's Rita Skeeter? I mean, we saw her once at Fan Festival and then she's just gone. Like, other stuff has happened since then, Rita. What's going on? Luna, where's Luna? Where's Neville? Where are the children? We have James, we have Albus, we have Lily, where's Hugo, Rose? Where are you kids? What are you doing? Although, to be fair, if you're Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, or Hermione Granger, you probably don't want your kids anywhere near any of this. Like, you don't want them near the ministry, you don't want them near the press, like, you're just trying to shield them. What is the deal with pumpkin juice? So it comes up in the Dumbledore event, in the Christmas Calamity. We even have from a trailer an interview transcript that is from, it looks like the desk of Mathilda Grimblehawk, who could be fake, we don't know. And the interview is conducted by Constance Pickering. We also don't know if Constance is real either. Are any of these people real? Who are you really? Anyway, so the questioning from Constance is, where were you on the morning of the incident? This person talks about it was a normal morning, you know, doing some paperwork, doing some things like that, nothing out of the ordinary. Office started raining again, probably around mid-morning, so I nipped off for a quick pumpkin juice. What? Next question from Constance. How did you end up at the love chamber? And this person, who had just nipped off for a bit of pumpkin juice, says that they couldn't remember. They're on the fuzzy side. They were certain, even though they can't remember. They think that they were there for official ministry business, but seems suspicious. What's up with pumpkin juice? And Constance, for that matter, my God. All right, now for the fun part where you asked me some questions from responding to my poll. First up, where is Grim Folly? Oh, that was me. Oh, just kidding. I asked, where is Grim Folly? But for real, like, no idea. My friend Zoe has a theory about where Grim is, and he possibly might be right in front of our faces, but I'll let her tell you all about it. Next question up from Beedle D Bard. Who caused the calamity? Well, let me tell you who it is. Just kidding. Well, none of us know, but my suspicions is that the calamity was caused by multiple actors, possibly not all doing the same thing. I think that there could be some accidents in there, and I think that there are different purposes and missions involved. Nobody is safe from my suspicions. Next up, WonderwomanNZ has several great questions. Do you think knowing the Harry Potter books inside out will help with the storyline, or will you need to do lots of background Googling to get extra details and content? So yes, all of it, I think. I don't know. I truly believe that the writers of the storyline are really well versed in the wizarding world. I think they know the Harry Potter storyline inside and out. Well, besides the whole Ravenclaw Raven thing, but my personal pessimistic opinion is that WB is never gonna shy away from that, and the Ravenclaw Raven is literally part of the merchandising, and I don't think that they're gonna go to the original Ravenclaw Eagle, but that's me being a pessimist. We'll see if they come through for us. Anyway, yes, so I think that the way that they're telling the story through the mysteries that we have is a little too intricate for a single person to just like figure everything out completely on their own. So I think that the point that they're trying to do is to get us to work together, the whole, theme of the game, Wizards Unite. And I think that the mystery is the game that we are in part playing. So we're playing this game and we have to do it together. So even if you don't fully know the Harry Potter stories inside and out, other people do, so we can all help each other out. Next question from Wonder Woman. Do you think they have written the storyline, or are they making it up now that they see how we play the game, what we talk about, and where we look for clues? So I think that they have a general story arc. I think that the specifics are actually written as we go along, but I think that they have major touch points of where they see the story to be in like 6 months, a year sort of thing. I'm not sure that they're making adjustments based on what we say, but I do think that that would be cool. And finally, are we as players causing the calamities? Our style of gameplay, it's stats in the background, do they determine the storyline? Maybe have something like the books used to read where you turn to page 10 or that or whatever. So that's like the choose your own adventure type books where you have to like make a decision or you do something, and then it's like if you do this, you go to this page, if you go to that, you go to the other page, and then you have like differences in the story that unfolds, which is really cool. So I personally think that is awesome, and I would love for them to do that. And to be honest, I think that we are fueling the calamity. I think we are contributing to it. I think we're keeping it going, keeping it energized. But low-key, I also thought at the beginning that based on our tweets and like social media stuff, everything that we were talking about, I thought that they were making adjustments to the game. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think that they're doing that. I think that they would probably have to disclose some sort of privacy thing if they were to do that. I don't know, but it would be cool for the game to literally be live and for us to actually collectively influence it. Next question from Pat B, who asks, is Harry behind all the troubles in our game? Well, he is the chosen one. I do have my suspicions about Mr. Harry Potter and his role in all of this. I mean, he did reveal to us that he has been hiding some secrets because we have this secret investigation that's ongoing for the London Five. So maybe he's waiting for us to prove that we're strong enough witches and wizards before he reveals more secrets that he might be hiding. But I definitely think Harry has some sort of involvement, even if it's like minimal. There's something that is a little off, and I think that he might know something or might be doing something that we don't know about. To be clear, I don't think Harry is the bad guy. Like I'm not coming for Harry Potter like I am for Constance Pickering, but there are some things that I think he hasn't been telling us. Next up from Tzakza, why were Grim and his wife writing in code with even personal correspondence? That is an excellent question. Here's what I'm thinking. What if it's not just the two of them? What if there was some sort of underground secret group that they were part of? I don't know, it's a great question. Next up we have Steph A75 who asks, will we save the London Five? Man, I hope so. I mean, I think that if we do save the London Five, that's not gonna be the end of what we're trying to deal with. That's not gonna be the end of the calamity. There's other stuff going on. I think that that might unlock the next part of the narrative arc, whatever the multi-year narrative is. So if it's not that we save the London Five in the next step, it might be like something that's later in a few years. Daniel asks, are we, the SOS Task Force, making any progress at all? Seems like nothing I or we do has any effect on the calamity. Oh my god. I completely agree. So what are the options now though? It's not like we can stop, right? But wouldn't it be cool if we had something like a global threat level clock where we could see what our collective work is or progress or anything like that? It could also go in waves where it's like, it's an emergency, this event is happening right now, everyone needs to participate. That would be super cool. And it would also be a way to cue to players what you're doing, even though it seems endless, is doing something. All right, this next question was from a text message. When will we get more story? Does the story of the London Five intersect with other characters' storylines? And did someone's actions specifically cause the calamity? So at this point, we are 9 months into the game, so my guess would be that we won't get any more storyline or mysteries or anything like that until the 1 year anniversary. But that's just a guess. I would love to have anything beforehand. Second, I absolutely believe that the London Five is deeply intertwined with some characters' storylines. And I think that the London Five might have been part of some sort of secret group. My leaning is that there was some sort of like whistleblowing that was going on, whistleblowing on the ministry with some suspect behavior or anything like that. And we don't know enough about the London Five, so I haven't explored that line of inquiry to make that sort of crazy theory, but that's just like where my mind is right now. So if we get more clues and they kind of align with that whistleblower type thing, I'm definitely gonna go into that rabbit hole. Finally, I think that a series of actions led to the calamity. So I think that there are multiple actors. I don't think that all of the actions or decisions made were necessarily intended for the calamity as it is right now. I think that there might be some accidents that happened, and that's probably why we have the calamity the way that it is. I mean, it could be completely intentional, completely calculated, but I don't think so. Next up, we have Herr Muggle, who asks, what do you think the storyline is from the mysterious wizard throughout the game? How might Voldemort be introduced, and where do you think the storyline will be in 5 or 10 years? All right, the mysterious wizard, I call him Tony. I don't know anything about him just yet. It's hard for me to place even where in time he's from. My guess would be that he's from the past. However, everything with the wizarding world in terms of fashion is also always quirky, so it's hard to place like what he's wearing with a specific time period, but I think he might be from the past. I don't know. I really don't know. He could be from the present. He also seems to be a wizard because he has a wand in a lot of the traces, and in the confoundable setting, it says, the game says to us, a wizard confoundable. So we know he's a wizard at least, but who he is? I mean, this is a train of thought. Instead of like, you know how when you redact things, you just black it out? He could be just like a disguise. Like whatever's supposed to be there, and it's like disguised by this wizard that somehow is projected from our minds and memories because we can't remember things perfectly. So he's just kind of like this little thing that we create, kind of like the Mandela effect, where we all remember something, but it's not actually there. That's too crazy, right? Voldemort. Okay, we've gotten some hints about Horcruxes, or at least some reference that makes us think about Horcruxes in some of the brilliant events, but I don't know how he's gonna come into play. I know that Voldemort was in the Department of Mysteries, you know, so like that happened. So it's possible that while he was there, he tainted or corrupted something. I mean, I could totally see him going into the love room, trying to understand love because he can't, and getting frustrated, lashing out, creating something, whether it's intentional or not. And then Grim goes into the love room, like, I don't know, 20, 25 years later, and or however long later, and just like tries to do this thing. But maybe Voldemort is in part responsible for the calamity. I don't know, but what I do know is that Harry Potter is going to lose his freaking mind when or if Voldemort is introduced. And 5 to 10 years with the storyline, that's hard. I mean, I want to say that the calamity is resolved, but I think we need the calamity because we need traces out in the world. So if that's the case, I wonder if we, at that point, I mean, we surely would have found more out about the London Five, about what's going on with Grim and Penelope or anything like that. What if we find the London Five, but they're trapped somehow? Like, that could be part of it. So like, maybe they're hidden in some fragment or some traces and we had to return or collect some fragments, maybe. And maybe once we collect fragments, then we'll be able to earn a clue. So this is more about like the mechanics of the game, but I think like the way that the story is told might be different or might incorporate more ways than just straight up dialogue where other characters are talking at us. I also think that we're gonna know a lot more about characters we've already heard from or heard about. So we'll know more about Constance, we'll know more about Gareth Greengrass, we'll maybe even know more about Grim and Penelope, like their backstories specifically. So I think that's gonna be unfolded over the next few years. And maybe that'll also contribute to the whole overall mystery arc. But the calamity is still gonna be here. It's still gonna be like, we're still gonna have traces out in the world risking Muggle exposure. I definitely think that. Next up from Mariet, who asks, I really would like to find Grim Folly, but is the game going to change after that? So I also want to find Grim Folly because I need to know what is your deal, bro? I think that the game mechanics are gonna stay the same. So I think we're still gonna have traces. We're still gonna have spells to overcome them. We might have new features introduced to the game, but I think that if we find Grim Folly, maybe the focus will be different. Like maybe, like I said before, we'll have to piece together different clues or something. But I think that there will be changes in the storyline, especially if we find Grim Folly. Like, what if we find Grim and he doesn't remember anything? Like, that would be something. Oh my. And finally from Naturah we have, is there any new clues about Grim? Is Harry Potter hiding something? Why would bad things be happening if Voldemort is dead? I mean, unless y'all know something from combing through the text again, I don't have any new clues about Grim Folly. I think we're all just waiting for the next round of mysteries so that we can learn more about him. And I definitely think that Harry Potter is hiding something. We know he's hiding about the investigation ongoing, and I think that he still has secrets that we have to maybe earn his trust a little more to learn more about. And finally, about Voldemort, there were bad things that happened before Voldemort, and it was only a matter of time before bad things started happening again after Voldemort. So that was part of the trailer. We have like, oh, peace is restored, everything's great, we're so wonderful, the wizarding world is at peace again, and it's like, no. So I don't know why mentions of Voldemort keep popping up because he's dead, you know, I'm with you there. But it's interesting to think about like the legacies of, you know, the bad people that cause, the dark wizards who cause chaos in the wizarding world. So we have like Grindelwald, we have Voldemort, and Maybe one day we'll find out who this new bad guy or people or situation is, and we'll learn more about that. That is all the questions I have at the moment. I mean, I probably could just like run through and just start asking questions, but what questions do y'all have about Wizards Unite, about the storyline, about what's to come, any sort of ideas that you think and directions that we'll be exploring in the future? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. And until next time, Juan's ready.